Hey coaches, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip. This is actually a new video. It is September 2024 and it looks like my first few when I just propped my phone up. But I've got computer issues, but I did not want to miss an opportunity, maybe miss a week of troubleshooting. I had a guy that hit me up and he's playing a team, and I love this kind of troubleshooting here at Football Talk with Coach Chip, because this kind of troubleshooting is proactive before they play the game. He said, Coach, he said, I love to run the jet. He said, I bought your jet manual. He goes, you got any ideas? What we can do, this team is very aggressive. They run a 3-4, too high, and they rotate their safeties down the jet. He said, we've got several films on them against jet teams, and they're going to spin that safety down to the jet and rotate back and go one high. And I said, well, that's not a problem. There's several things you can do, and I'm going to show you right now what you can do against teams that are rotating the safeties. I'm not going to talk about the inside blocking. That's why I didn't draw up the D lineman. This could be a 4-2-5, 3-4, whatever it is with two high safeties. So I just put in the second and third level players. I'm not ignoring them, but y'all, I've got plenty of videos on how to block the jet. Just go to the jet playlist, and this will end up on the jet playlist as well as the troubleshooting playlist. All right, so they spin this cat down. You can just do what you always do. If you're content with your blocking, if you know your blocking's good, you got your one blocking one, two blocking two. But instead of, you got to have a guy here that can reach that 4 or that 5, depending on what they're in. I'm talking about your play side tackle, because he's not going to get help from your running back, my tailback. We're going to tell him, you've got that safety. It's almost like an old school triple option junction block. When you get out there, you arc release and go get him. Of course, if that guy spins down in here, that'd be his attack angle right there. Something else I told him he could do on this, and I love this, is instead of putting your back over there on the play side, you can put your back on the back side so it looks like a regular formation. You can run buck out of it, you can run all your other good stuff out of it, and do the return motion, which can really mess with them, especially if they're chasing with this cat, all right, or bumping him down in the box. And you do a return motion, boop, and now run jet. It's not as fast as jet. Can't be, because he's coming from here. But by the time you get here, he's already rotated down. He's rotated back to the middle. Boom, come back and run jet here and let your tailback get right there. And now your safety is in the middle of the field and he's got to come. And so you got a hat on a hat. I also drew up, you remember our backside guy. So if that outside backer is chasing the jetter, you've got the backside guy who can come in, who rotates in, and now you got your backside slant. There's all kind of cool things you can do. You can also, remember, I don't like RPO in the jet, because I like to run the jet fast as all get out. But you can make it look like an RPO. So if they're going to rotate their secondary, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of teams, the 3 years I spent in Georgia, I saw a lot of that, a lot of too high, and they're really good at it. The Georgia coaches, defensive coaches, do a great job with too high safeties and getting one of those guys involved in run support. So you come here, you got your jet motion, boom, right there. This guy, instead of running a slant, run a glance, and it depends on who you talk to about a glance. Now this is the way I describe a glance, and you know I got goofy ways that I talk about things. All right, if a slant, an old school slant, and a post hooked up, their child would be a glance. Okay, about 5 steps. Some do 7. I know like some of the NFL guys run it at 8. This was the pass route that everybody thought back in 20, when Alabama was running through the COVID year like a virus, pun intended. Everybody thought they were hitting Devontae Smith and the other receivers with slants. They weren't slants. They were glances, deep slants. And you got to get that thing super skinny. Now, I released him outside. You can release him inside, but you're going to break it. As, you know, they teach a 45-degree angle on that thing, but I say read the inside, you know, read the room. You know, is that safety spinning down? This one's coming over the top, and you make that break, and the angle should be, you know, from reading the room. What are they doing? And make sure he knows he's got to get vertical. That ball should be put on him. Shuffle, fake, step back, throw it about halfway between the hash marks and the numbers. That makes sense? About halfway between the hash marks and the numbers. Now, this is not an RPO. It's not even an access throw. This is a call. Call your jet pass and tag the glance and make it look like the jet. Sell it. Sell the jet. One more thing I shared with him, by the way, he loved that idea. And I do too, because I love that glance. You know, I only got to really run it 1 year after I learned it. And then a couple of places where we didn't have the cats to do it. But the other thing you can do on your jet pass, if they're going to spin this joker down, and remember, you can't run this on a passing down. You know, defensive coaches, they go to school too. But on a down where you would normally run jet is when you run jet pass. So again, run your jet pass, and it's something that's in the jet manual that's out there now. Hit me up, siegel.chip@gmail.com. By the way, there'll be no graphics because I can't get on my cockeyed computer because it's on the fritz. It's okay though. I got a son-in-law that's a computer whiz, and I've got a stepson that is a computer whiz too. He came looked at it yesterday. He's hooking me up with something. Maybe we'll be back online this week. But this is cool. This is old school. We're going commando today, man. All right. So the other thing is call your jet pass. And remember, on the normal jet pass in the jet manual, he's running a go, takeoff. Really a go. It's a get open because he can curl it up if the guy's really bailing. But he ain't gonna be bailing on a rundown. Tag your H hot. Come right here, gear down like you're going to stalk him, reach him as I call it, get vertical. If this guy's spinning down right here, he's going to strip a gear trying to stop and get back and cover that hot right there. All right, so here's the things you can do. You can run your jet the way you run it. Just make sure your tailback knows he's got to get that safety that's spinning down. That's one. Second thing you can do, return motion. Run jet back the other way. Make the jet a counter. Okay? What you do is you call jet left, return, if that's the way you want to call the motion. You got the glance off a jet pass. Remember, that thing needs to be completed halfway between the numbers and the hash. That receiver does not need to make that thing flat like a dig, and he doesn't need to carry his fanny in there where the safeties are, because this guy here is still rotating over the top, and those safeties have bad intentions. Okay, so you got the normal jet. Just make sure your tailback's getting him. You got your return jet. You got your glance off the jet pass, and you got your H hot off the jet pass. So those are things you can do versus two high safeties that want to spin down when they see jet motion. I hope that's helpful. Here we are troubleshooting week 4. Week 5 is coming upon us. We're in it for practice. Good luck to all you coaches. I hope you win them all except when you play my team. All right. Y'all be elite.